Pageant Perfect. The Ms. Pennsylvania Senior America Pageant celebrates the age of elegance, inspiring women to embrace lifelong learning, transformation, and adventure. By Riddle. Several years ago, Tammy Miller, president of Pennsylvania Pink Zone, was going about her normal routine, acting as a sort of self-appointed mascot during the annual Penn State women's basketball Pink Zone game at the Bryce Jordan Center. The event is a notable moment within the community, benefiting breast cancer survivors, of which Miller is herself, drawing crowds and raising not insignificant funds.
My job there is to greet people and tell them we're really happy that they're there. There are people that are newly diagnosed or cancer survivors, and I want them to know they're part of a family, a very loving, supporting family,
Miller describes. With her hot pink feathered boas and sequins, Miller admits she stands out from the crowd. And on that particular game day, she attracted the attention of a woman who would, unbeknownst to Miller, start her on a journey to where she is today.
This woman came up to me and she goes, "Oh my gosh, you've got to be in our pageant,"
Miller recounts.
I'm like, "Wait, where are the cameras? Come on, what are you talking about, Lon? I've never been in a pageant in my life."
However, intrigued, Miller went home and did some further research into what she learned was the Ms. Pennsylvania Senior America Pageant. The deadline for applying to participate was quickly approaching, though, so she passed on the opportunity. Fast forward to October 2025, and she was speaking at the Pennsylvania Breast Cancer Coalition Conference, and the pageant's reigning queen was in attendance, and she, too, encouraged Miller to participate.
This time I had a little bit more time to look at it, but I still went, "Tammy, you're crazy, what are you doing?" But I kind of thought, well, let's see what I can do. So that's where we are in 2026. I'm now officially a contestant,
She says.
I'm still saying, I can't believe I'm actually in a pageant. I'm 66 years old. Come on, really.
For Miller, the pageant represents more than a one-night event on June 7th in Harrisburg. It's part of a broader mission celebrating women over 60. Keep moving. The Ms. Pennsylvania Senior America Pageant is part of the broader, nationwide Ms. Senior America Pageant, which requires participants to be 60 years of age or older. The pageant, according to its website, brands itself as the world's first and foremost pageant to emphasize and give honor to women who have reached the age of elegance. It is a search for the gracious lady who best exemplifies the dignity, maturity, and inner beauty of all senior Americans. Additionally, the pageant's philosophy embodies the idea that seniors are the foundation of and most valuable resource for the United States. During the pageant, participants are judged based on their presentation of a 35-second philosophy of life, an evening gown segment, a judge interview, and a talent segment.
Never stop learning, never stop growing. Don't be afraid to step out there, try new things, do different things. It doesn't matter what our age is.
That philosophy aligns closely with the message Miller hopes to share through the competition. Miller sees that the opposite mindset plays out often among people her age, and she actively pushes against it in her own life, believing seniors who stay active and involved experience a markedly better quality of life.
I got an e-bike 2 years ago and I've become an e-bike adventure seeker,
She says.
Most people I ask, "Do you want to go for a ride?" They're like, maybe they don't want to break any bones, but we have to just keep stepping out there.
It's an approach that Miller exemplifies in her own life, and part of what motivated her to eventually sign up for the pageant. When asked what ultimately finalized her decision, she simply says,
Well, I've never done it before. What's the worst thing that can happen? We really just have to keep moving, find joy, and keep moving.
She adds. Finding the courage. So where does Miller find her joy, as well as the confidence that anyone would need to participate in any pageant at any age? In short, her vast and varied life experiences have prepared her well for this endeavor. Consistently, when discussing where she finds her fulfillment, Miller continues to go back to helping others achieve their goals. Her career has centered around teaching, speaking, and selling real estate. She's a realtor with Keller Williams Realty, a motivational speaker specializing in topics like communication skills, leadership, motivation, humor, and healing, an auctioneer, helping nonprofits raise money at their events, and a past international director and an accredited speaker through Toastmasters International. There are fewer than 100 worldwide. She's taught at Penn State, guides tours for Fullington Trailways, and has written multiple books.
Even selling real estate, you're helping people realize their goals and their dreams.
She adds,
So that's not really any different than being a motivational speaker, where you're helping people realize their goals and their dreams. It just happens to have a house in the middle of it.
Still, even with her wealth of expertise, Miller's not expecting this pageant to be a cakewalk. Once she turned in all of her paperwork, she says, she felt a heightened desire to not just participate for the sake of doing something new. Now she wants to win, and she's getting a lot of support from other women along the way, whether that be in the form of helping her practice her talent or purchasing advertising spots in the pageant's program. Selling the spots is a requirement for participants.
I don't really know exactly what to expect in doing this, but I have enough confidence in myself that I probably can at least stand a chance,
She says, preparing for the pageant. Miller notes that multiple women have mentioned to her that they would never have enough guts to do something similar. Statements that prompt further reflection upon seniors' desire for new experiences, or lack thereof, as well as broader society's tendency to overlook women past a certain age.
I think we get to a point in our 60s where it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to look like in that ball gown. What if my arms are saggy? Well, I really should have a little facelift before I do this, and I'd like to lose 30 pounds.
Miller describes.
And I think as we get a little bit older, we become invisible. Part of that is, well, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm not in my 30s. Yes, I had a career, but now nobody really cares what I have to say. That's so untrue, but a lot of women look at it from that angle, versus looking at all of the experience and activities and things in the community they've been involved in. Because of those experiences, they have something to bring to the table.
Those who think they might not have the guts to do something like participate in a pageant, Miller continues, are likely of the former mindset. However, the pageant is designed to showcase the latter, to shine a light on what all women over 60 have to offer and what they can do for those around them. Miller also hopes younger generations take something from the experience, a goal that aligns with the pageant's broader emphasis on how seniors' knowledge, experience, and resources can help build a better society.
I have 2 grandchildren, ages 10 and 11, and I want them to see their Grammy at 66 years old trying new things.
She says,
And I hope one day they'll be able to think about that themselves, like, gee, I've never done that. Well, what would Grammy do? Let's do it and let's make it happen.
regardless of the outcome, Miller says that her participation is just an important reminder to herself, as it is a message to others.
I would love to win, obviously, but if I don't, I think it's a reminder to myself that, hey, you worked hard, you found this talent, you came up with your philosophy of life, you had the ball gown and the questions, and it's something that you did, and you didn't just sit and watch TV and eat bonbons.
She laughs.
I'm still out there, still active, still moving, and still doing something that makes a difference to people.